different. So you guys let us know. Please, please feel free to do so. So like we were saying, you guys, before we went into the break, this month we're talking about suicide prevention, how to love yourself, what to do if you have those thoughts. Sharing, of course, our personal story, our personal journey, everything we had to go through just a little bit to get to this spot right here where we are today. And, just healing, and we still are, being happy, everything, whole 9 yards, you guys. So, like we said, we looked up a little info, you guys, on things you can do to help anybody, even yourself. If you have any kind of suicidal thoughts, you're thinking about harming yourself, or if you know anybody that's thinking about doing that. Number one is like 12. So it's number 1. If you see any signs, whether you're a child or an adult, pay attention. Just like I think we mentioned in last week, and we mentioned on a couple of other episodes, if you hear anybody, talking about I want to harm myself or I don't want to live anymore, they may be dealing with other, mental health issues. We know we did, um, that can be underlining. And sometimes, whether you're a child and even as an adult, you really don't know what that is. And sometimes we don't really know, how to deal with it, so on and so forth. So if you see any of that in anybody, you guys, please, please do not ignore it. Stay calm with them. Don't, lash out, snap at them, spaz out, get mad, none of that garbage, because that's not going to help anybody. That's not going to help. People give you signs that they're going to end their life, whether they just say it or it's in their actions. And we're the type of person, we've always paid attention to anybody's action. Anything anybody says, that's one thing. Action, that's a whole nother. Because people's actions really tell you how they feel about themselves. Hello, everybody, and how they feel about people around them, and especially when they're thinking about ending their life. Pay attention to that. Like we just said, number 2, nonverbal communication. Listen even when that person is not talking, y'all. Listen even when they're not talking. Sometimes they can turn away, make major changes, in their life, and don't ignore them. Do not ignore them, you guys. Their sleep patterns, appetite, how they socialize, talk to other people, that changes as well. With us, we was always like the antisocial type. So now we doing the reverse and trying to actually open up, to more people, and do things different, let people in little bit, a little bit. Because we still try to be private. So we just let people in, even here on our show, a little bit on our life and our story, so on and so forth. So these are most important signs somebody's pattern, especially that person, husband, wife, family member, friend, whatever the case may be, especially that person real well. Don't ignore them signs. You see them changes. Don't just, they might be doing something different, blah blah blah. Don't do that. We begging y'all, do not do that. That might be a sign. They suddenly get depressed. They suddenly get so sad. They don't want to, do the things that they normally do, hang out with people. They struggling, school, work, because you can struggle on the job too. We know a couple times we went to work, we just weren't feeling it, and we just was like, I don't want to be here. I'm not feeling like myself, and you can feel it on the inside. And we know they can too, whoever, it may be that's going through that, and whether, like we said, you are a child or an adult. Number 3, you might be facing suicide risk you don't even know yet. You haven't even considered. A lot of people think that mental health, suicide prevention, suicide, that it can never happen to them. Wrong. We never really understood what suicide was, or even mental health. We used to hear about Alzheimer's, and we think dementia. And we used to do home health aid when we lived in Florida. We did that for about, I think, a year or so. So yeah, it was about a year that we did it, and we dealt with a couple of patients that had like mental health. They couldn't really take care of themselves. Hello, everybody. They couldn't really take care of themselves like they wanted to, and we couldn't even imagine, the mental thoughts that they were having and what they were going through. We thought we had it hard, but it was nothing. Not that it's a competition at all, but we couldn't even imagine what they must have been going through. So, it's no specific, um, thank you, Christino. Thank you so much. Um, it's no specific race, no specific ethnicity, gender, sexual orientation, religion, none of that. This can happen to anybody. It can happen to anybody. We don't care if you got all the money in the world or if you broke. Real talk. We don't care if you got everything or if you have nothing. You can still go through mental health. You can still have suicidal thoughts. And we just forgive us for saying this, y'all, but we never really understood how you can have everything and still not be happy. There was a point where we didn't understand that. Now we do, because material things can't get you happiness. Money damn sure can't buy you happiness. It got to come from within. Other people can't even buy you happiness. They can't give it to you. If you have people around you like that, cool. That's wonderful. Allah's the greatest. But if you don't, you got to find it in yourself. A lot of days, just like us, we have to be our own cheerleader, our own motivator. It is what it is. So that's what we have to do. Number 4, another thing we like to do. Whether you are a child or an adult, we always like to dismiss people's issues and emotions as little drama or an episode, or we're just going through, or get over it. Stop feeling sorry for yourself. The stuff that we used to hear. Stop feeling sorry for yourself. Get up. Just forget about it. We hate all them phrases. And we're going to tell you why. Just like we mentioned earlier, how can somebody that's not trying to fix themselves and somebody that's just as broken but won't admit it tell you how to handle your issues and how to deal with your life? Ain't got but 6,000 years of knowledge under your cool, still thinking in the like we say, nigger mentality, still probably living off somebody else more than likely. Don't have any ambition, no goals, probably done been through some things they ain't dealt with. Dismiss what you're going through. How? How you gonna tell me when I need to heal? Especially when you causing the pain. How dare you? They tell you just get over it, but when it happens to them, everybody, the world got to stop. Everybody pay attention to me, focus on me. I'm going through something right now. That hypocritical, we cannot stand it. And that's why we say we just had to get away from a lot of people like that. If you hear people say things, I want to die, I don't care anymore, nothing matters, everyone would be better off without me. Don't ignore that. Sit down and take a minute and talk to them. We dismiss that and we ignore it. Even if you are wrong, we always say it's better to be safe than have to bury your child or you have to bury your loved one. It's better to be safe. And just keep checking on them. Keep asking, just like we do with our daughter. Even if they're good, just keep checking on them. Spend some time with them. Take them out somewhere. Find out their interests. A lot of people take their life because they feel like nobody cares. When Really, you have to care about yourself, but you should have people in your life that at least